Hello there! Welcome back to Charles Circle, and welcome back to Anno 117. Last time, we got our little colony here up and running. We were just about to upgrade not just from Tier 1 to 2, but from Tier 2 population up to Tier 3. The issue we ran into is that in order to provide one of these two household goods, we will have to supply either amphorae or olive oil, both of which have a fertility requirement, resin for amphorae, and olives for olive oil, that we can't provide on this island based on the fertilities that we rolled here. That's okay. That's an intentional design to force us to expand beyond our starting island. Not every island will have every fertility. So today, our big goal will be to settle a second island with at least one of those fertilities so that we can send that product home and upgrade to Tier 3 after all. So that means a ton of exploration needs to happen here, and that means that I need to be a bit more active with our boat this time around than I was last time. I kept getting distracted with all the fun new stuff that we have to play with. So I'm going to get him off and moving in the distance. I'm also assigning him to a control group along with our main trading post as a different control group so that I can quickly shift between the two of them. Hopefully that will help me be a little bit more active on that end. There's a few other things though that we can work on in the meanwhile while our boat is out exploring. The first of which is this Hall of Fame meta progression system that we, I think, maybe mentioned but didn't really explore, or certainly haven't explored it quite yet. And we get points by progressing through the game, I suppose, and we can upgrade, unlock different things, many of them cosmetic, some of them functional though. And if we, I think, if I'm reading this correctly, if we spend 50 points here, we'll be able to start unlocking things here, and since we have 120, we might as well. I'm poking around here, and I'm seeing some of these things, right? This is just cosmetic. For banners, flags, sails, great. I might start with the stuff that's functional though. And this is a specialist that looks like we might be able to throw into our boat to improve discovery radius and movement speed, which are pretty much exactly what we're trying to solve for, getting our boat out and about there. Between that and favorable wind angle, which I think also impacts speed, this seems like something we should probably make sure to install. So let's real quick pop out there. And are we able to assign it here? We are. There we go. So that should immediately, there we go, start discovering more stuff. Very cool. And we have met Dorian. What's your deal, Dorian?
Well met. I am Dorian of the Brothers of Heracles. I hope we will be friends, you and I.
We will be polite, as always, to start. We may fight eventually, but there's no reason to start early. So he's over here, I guess? Yes, so this is his island. What does his island look like so far? Yeah, it's respectable. He's got a little bit going on here. Very good. What fertilities does he have? He does not have any of the fertilities that we need, so I don't think we'll be trying to conquer him anytime soon, but we will probably end up fighting somebody at some point or another. So let's get out there into the fog and then come back here. Let's poke around and see. There was probably some other stuff we could still unlock here in this Hall of Fame. We need to spend another 30 points. This looks like we would get scorpions on our boat, so that seems like a cool functional thing. Everything else here seems purely aesthetic. So I think maybe I'll grab the mosaic. And then we should be able to move up here. And I don't know, we have what, 65 left? What can we do with that? Here's another specialist. And it looks like he will improve our finances. Let's see how much. 367 is our balance to start. Let's throw him here into our villa. 367 to 520, pretty good. So bonus income for him per building, 1.5, and then minus 75% on the upkeep cost. New island. And how is this new island?
Welcome to Lily Biome.
It has, look at this, resin and olive fertility. That's pretty good. We've also met Valeria. Yeah, I mean, I think we need to settle this island. Might as well do it quickly, right? Our island is just over here, so this is pretty manageable, actually. I think, so we'll have to settle on the beach. I don't think we can do it here. I'll be very impressed if we can. But I think what we'll probably have to do is drop a trading post on one of these two far shores, which is fine. And then over here, we should absolutely visit Valeria. This is not a direct AI competitor, but kind of an AI trading post, I think. So let's come back and take a peek at that in a moment as well. But let's come over here and see what it would take to settle. In the other game, you had to supply a bunch of materials. In 1800, you had to supply a bunch of materials. What is the deal here? Oh, okay. Straight cash. We have 5K. We could do this. We will do this. Perfect. This is exactly what we needed, right? Resin and olive fertility.
Your confidence knows no
Very good. All right, the first thing we're going to do with our boat is go over there and check out what's going on at that trading post, but we should probably see if we can't start building here. Now, that said, I bet we're kind of, yeah, we have no timber, so we actually can't do a damn thing here until we bring some timber over, because we can't even start our own forest in this area until then. Maybe we can buy some over here. Might be a little faster. Let's see. So there's contracts available, which are little missions, I assume. So we could collect some crates for some cash, deliver a bunch of sardines for some cash. I mean, this isn't a ton. It's some, I suppose. And then there's a boat we can buy for a lot more money than we actually have. Can we, like, trade, though? Oh, interesting. We could just straight buy the M4A. That's pretty expensive, so that's probably not something we want to do on a continuous basis, but if we need some in a pinch, that's good to know. And then any good events, any good items over here? This looks pretty good. Of course, it's way more than we can afford, and I don't think we're going to bother spending that kind of cash on any of these either. But okay, cool. So that is something that is here for us to keep in mind. And then actually, what is she will buy off of us? Oysters with caviar, uncut marble, oats, and clay. Not for a ton of money. The things that we can supply now, these, you know, maybe later. Let's see. Okay. So then we definitely need to come home and get a whole bunch of timber so that we can build on this island. Now, the other thing we're going to need is the ability to send all of those olives and resin home. Now, we could do that with our flagship. You do have to, like, ship things, right? From island to island in this game. We could do that with our flagship, but that would take up our flagship. And so what I would love to do instead is maybe get the shipyard up and running over here so that we can build more ships. It's an expensive building, but we need to do it. So we're gonna do it, of course. Put it all the way over here to the side. I see, and now we've unlocked some nautical research and a gift. Wow. Yeah, sure. Thanks, man. They'll be really annoyed at us if we attack them soon after. Well, we're not planning to, so yeah, 10k. No downside. We'll take that. Now, in order to build these ships, we need... So civilian ship 1 is probably where we're starting. We have to unlock research requirements for these additional ships. And we can build... Okay. So this looks like a military version of the same ship, but with archers and a scorpion on it. Okay, great. But we need to set up productions for sails and ropes before we can build any ships. No problem. Let's do that. Starting with ropes, looks like we need more hemp and a rope maker. Easy enough. So the hemp farms, that's these, we're already using them to make tunics, so we might as well, I would say, just slap another one down here. Oh, our little fireplace, our brazier, is not going to fit nicely in here, is it? So, sadly, I think we're gonna have to move it, at least. I don't know, we'll come back to it. But again, we're really just trying to crank out some of this early functional stuff, and we'll get prettier later, I do promise. But let's see, so that's more hemp now, and this is every minute. This takes every 2, so we could actually do 2 rope makers. I'm not convinced we need 2 rope makers right away, but we could. Now this has no area effect or anything, right? Okay, so we could put this really anywhere. Maybe we'll put it just for our own, like, you know, convenience of organization over here by the shipyard itself. But that does mean we want to get a warehouse probably out here as well, so that it's able to access it. Very good. So then also sales. One thing I noticed, I think last time we built a little extra on the sheep than we needed. Is that still correct? Yeah, we were building 1 sheep farm for every, is it the hats? Yeah, for every 1 of the hats that we needed. But these produce every minute, these every 30 seconds. So we've actually been producing twice as many sheep as we need, which is great. Let's pretend it was on purpose because we can use them here for the sailmaker. And same thing, let's go ahead and set it up right here. Build a road to connect that up there as well. Cool. Alright, well, in a moment we'll have accumulated enough to build a ship, but let's quickly check on... Yep, here we go, our ship is here. Let's get ourselves, I don't know, a whole bunch of timber. Should we do we need to send anything else over? I mean, tiles are a little bit more advanced. Let's check real quick. What does it take to build resin? So it does take the plebeians, so we'll have to upgrade to plebeians to get resin, if I'm reading that correctly. And then over here, olives are just the Libertus. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. Remember, we can supply locally just what we need over there. We don't have to build everything. We could just quickly do a sardine to upgrade. Same thing here, just build a market. And I guess the most difficult thing will be providing one of these. But we don't actually need to send tiles, which I suppose is the thing I should have said out loud there. That's what I was thinking. Do we need to send tiles, or should we just send more timber? If we send enough timber, we basically won't have to build our own local timber production over here, which is good because we won't. Like, once we build this, we're kind of not going to be expanding. It's a small island and it has a very narrowly defined purpose, which is just crank out a bunch of olives and resin. So let me know when you get there. And then let's come on back here. Oh, we are wasting our research. I was just going to check on this, but I think it's been going by without actually using anything. So I think we could improve our flagship, which would be helpful, especially early for moving things around. Doubles our cargo slots from 2 to 4, and ships are slower when they have cargo, but less so if we research this. And the other one that I wanted to check on, yeah, here, we should probably get better fire safety. So let's queue all of that up. Fire safety is the one thing that's definitely in the negative here, and we could go around and probably add another Vigilise or whatever. But yeah, you know, maybe we should, just to be safe. But it seems like, yeah, so these don't stack, right? So I can't get +2 and then another +2 here, even if we have more fire safety to offset than just the 2. So okay, maybe that doesn't actually help, which is why we need another type of building, which is why the well, I suppose. I think we'll do one more up here. It's not super efficient, but we're going to expand into this area, and we can move things around later too. It's not a bad idea to have a second one. The other part too, it's not just about the bonus. If it's anything like, and it looks like it is, previous games, when there's actually a fire that pops out, which is a function of the total fire safety, when a fire breaks out, units will actually discreetly deploy, like discrete units. They will not be discrete in their actions. It's actually usually rather loud. But when they roll out here, you have multiple different patrols that can go fight fires in different spots. And so having a second actual building to deploy also then gives you 2 more of these little patrols. These big barrels of water will trundle around to wherever there's fire. So now we have 4 of them instead of just 2, which I think is also helpful. The other thing we could do, now that we have a shipyard, these ships, we're starting, you can see our rope and sails are starting to trickle in. These boats require weapons. And we started with some weapons, and we spent some of them over here on our archers. We should probably set up domestic weapon production, don't you think? So if we go over here to the military tab, we have our barracks, our various walls and defenses. Even these, by the way, it seems, yeah, cost some weapons to build, watchtowers and such. We should have this production going. So iron mine, yep, which it looks like we can pull out of a mountain slot, and this is not a bad spot for it, then gets smelted into iron using some charcoal, and then that gets, I guess, hammered into actual weapons at an armory building. And this has negative fire safety area effect, health area effect, and income at the expense of fire safety effect for weaponsmith. Okay. So I think we probably start here. Is that our boat has just arrived? Okay, this is more important. We are pivoting. And we will transfer all of the timber in here that we can. Go ahead and build a real quick couple of Libertas houses. And we're probably going to need to get fish, I think would be the first thing to do here, right? So that they can, we need to upgrade some of them, right? In fact, here, let's maybe pause this spin up and let's actually define what we need, right? So if we want to make a bunch of olives, oh my gosh, they do require tiles. All right, never mind. Go back to, perfect, our home island. Neat little menu, you can just send it to an island and notify me when you get here. So we can, in planning mode at least, set up a bunch of our the buildings that we're actually here for, right? So a bit of olives, certainly. Oh my gosh. Well, it doesn't matter. They're all going to fill in. I don't have to be super picky about the precise layouts here. This is all going to fill in around. So let's fill in these farms. Very good. Let's set up enough production for 4 right away, I guess. Why not? That feels about right. You know, this is the sort of thing we're going to have to come back and scale up over time as our needs at home increase. That is the entire purpose of this island, so we don't need to be saving space for really anything else. So one last one here. And let's just go ahead and fill all of this space in. Something like this. Very good. And then on this side, and by the way, I suppose we'll need a warehouse at the top of this hill. We are also going to want to save, I think, a little bit of road space to get out here because there are some mountain tiles here. So if we ever wanted to outsource our iron production out this way, for example, this would be a great way to get some more supplemental iron. So let's at least future-proof that. We shouldn't need too much else beyond that, though. So olive growers, as we said. Oh, and let's go ahead and load up our boat here with a whole stack of tiles and top off the timber, sure. And then let's say, come on over to Apricus. Is that what the name of this island is? In fact, it is. Very good. And then let's do the resin farms. So, okay, interesting. So this requires forest area. This is not a farm in that sense. It is, it's more like our lumberjack huts and or charcoal burners. So similarly, I think we're going to try to get 4 here. But that may or may not be entirely possible. There we go, based on our tree density. So these are going to be pretty scattered all over the place. Hang on a tick. Do these overlap? Maybe not. Maybe they don't mess up each other's fertilities. And if that's the case, I'd rather just have them all here, right? Let's do that. And then we could just run a road along here with a little warehouse, call it here. Does that still work? We'll see. All right, and then as soon as the tiles get over here, we'll be able to start building these. The other thing we'll need, though, in order to get to an upgraded plebeian from our initial starting Libertus, is we should probably go ahead and supply them with some fish. This one we can just go ahead and place right away. We don't need to worry too much there about planning mode. We already have what we need in order to get them going. So we can pull up our production menu again here. And you can see this now is specific to this island, right? We could go back and look at the other island from the same menu, but because we've opened it contextually on this island, it'll just show us production on this island. And that's convenient. So we'll have the sardines. The other thing we're going to need, right, is a marketplace or a tavern, or both, really. No reason not to, I would say. So let's go ahead and do that. That will get the second set of needs start to tick up even faster than the fish, because we have to actually do the fishing. And the last thing we'll need is either tunics or hats. What makes more sense to build here? Hemp farms. Hemp, I think you can grow anywhere. It doesn't seem like there's a fertility associated with it. Or hats. Sheep are also quite easy here. Income and happiness, as a reminder, versus just straight income. I don't think we have to worry about happiness too much here. So maybe we'll just go spinner. And we have spinners giving us knowledge, right? That's the other upgrade that we researched. So now that I think about it, we're definitely going to go spinners. So let's do that. And the associated hemp farm, which I think we could just put up here as well. So let's get these fields out here. Oh, nice. Convenient little 60 triangle. All right. And that's actually enough for 2 spinners. Not that we're going to make too much use of that, but technically something we could be doing is a second spinner here. That said, this is more than enough tunics for the population we have here. So what else will we need? We said we're going to need these warehouses, so we might as well. And then we have the tiles, so let's build, I would say to start, just one of each of these. And in a moment here, we'll be able to upgrade to cover that. The next thing we'll need to do back at home is we'll need to get a ship for this would-be trading route. We still need more. All right, that's not fast enough for me. So I think we're going to need to get another rope maker going here. Maybe even another sailmaker. In fact, definitely another sailmaker, because that is the one thing I'm pretty sure we still have sheep for. This should just bring it back to par. No, we still even have more room, sheep-wise. But I do want another rope maker too, which will mean another hemp farm. See, I keep doing R to rotate. is not the default hotkey here. I'm actually going to change these fields. Let's say, come fill this area in first. And this road frontage area is not what we want. We're going to do it like this. And sure, right? Bring it out this way. Well, it looks silly if they're unbalanced, so let's at least fill in there. Probably going to end up moving all of those because I want this space, but hey, what can you do? Okay, so we've doubled our sail and rope producing capacity, and hopefully that speeds up our ability to make this boat. But in the meanwhile, we do still have our flagship over here, and we could start, transporting some of what is being produced here. At least once we actually have the plebes. Tunics would be good here. And it seems like we are just now, yeah, we're producing, so perfect. That will help us. I don't know, this is basically what this entire island's going to look like, right? We're going to have a small village here that is basically just exists to farm and gather raw resources. Over the course of the game, right, our core main island will get a lot more urban, and it'll have all these production buildings and fewer agricultural gathering spots because they're very space inefficient and they don't require or make good use of highly leveled citizens. So that's kind of the shape of this, of the evolution of our empire over time, is that we're going to have this grand city, ideally spanning this entire island, while we have all of our either space inefficient or really polluting industries, right? We can kick off our main island so that we don't have to suffer those penalties there. But for now, this is a tiny little fishing and farm village. That's pretty cute too. Yeah, I like the aesthetic of this game. It's very nice. Very calming. Alright, so can you please upgrade now? Just about. Just have to finish loading here. So, because I don't want to forget and come back, we're just going to crank up the game speed. We'll let it load real quick, and then drop back down to normal speed, and we will upgrade just as many as we need, which I suppose will be 3, maybe 4, just to be safe. Heck, I'm feeling luxurious. We're doing a whole block. Okay. Oh, and you don't have enough cultivation available? Okay, so these absolutely do require non-overlapping space. That's unfortunate from the menu. It didn't show that very clearly, right? And then if we move these again, or actually I think maybe what we might do is delete that. Ooh, and it knocked out these trees, which isn't great. Can we just move him down here? We can. So let's say right there. All right, there we go. No harm, no foul. Now we know. We have learned. So ultimately, right, we're gonna have to do the second half of this production on the other island. But resin producing every minute, 1-to-1. This can support 1 potter on the other island. Understood. Maybe we should build 2 right away then. Yeah, I think we're gonna. If nothing else, just to smooth out the transport issues that will go along with, having to send stuff by boat. So let's do that, and then I think we will go ahead and build this as well, which does mean more upgrades. Call it here and here, but everything else should be good. I think we still have enough fish, of course, naturally, and tunics. Brilliant. Right, we're done with this island. As soon as we set up the trade route, dump as much timber there as we can so that in case something does come up later, we will have it. And maybe what we'll do even is load up whatever amount of There we go. Olives and 1 resin. Great. That we do have here already. And then come on home. Then we will set up the productions for those. There we go. Beautiful. What is this settings? Oh. Oh, cool. Okay, so we can actually like kind of kit these boats out a little bit. So if we wanted to go into a military boat, I see, we would be able to just sort of tack them on. These have increased maintenance costs and construction costs. Okay, and then ship oars. Okay, so this reduces your wind reliance, but does require more workforce and money. Kind of like that, though. Min speed, max speed, minimum speed 45 versus 64. It's a pretty significant boost if you're going upwind, right? More than like, what is that, like almost a 40% boost? I think we're going to do that. I think we can afford it. I mean, not literally right this second. We are going to have to build some more, but I think we're going to do this. Cool. So, and then great, it saves our template. Nice. Oh, that's cool. I like there's a bit more customization to this. Right on. Well, let's make one, right? As we said, we are going to need more Libertus in order to staff it properly. So let's get back to expanding our city. Just slap down another city block here, I suppose, for now. And make sure it's connected. We don't need a ton right now, so that'll be good enough. And then let's get into the production of these household goods. So, Potter gives population and fire safety for the need, but the area effect gives additional income and negative fire safety. Interesting. And just in time, we also have wells. Is that... yeah, so then we are out of... oh, interesting. Okay, so this is... we do have to research the Officia first. So we need to pick a new research or we're wasting our throughput. Nice. Okay, this is good. We want our markets to have better range. That's cool. Usually it used to be in 1800 that you could only do that by paved roads. So nice that we have other ways to extend range. That's cool. So, all right, area effect, income minus fire safety. I think we still want this in residential. I think I'm going to keep making this mistake until we have a big fire that burns everything down. This is also the sort of thing that I bet is much more punching on higher levels. Disasters are... higher levels of difficulty. Disasters are really quite painful the more you scale up, I think. But, in the meanwhile, that's just cash. So let's do that. And how much do we need, actually, is a good question. We need... okay, that'll be more than enough M4A, I think. And same question on the olive oil. 1 every 130. Okay, actually, so we only have enough olives being produced if these are every 2 minutes for 130 for an olive press here. But it has... it improves our needs. If we just check the box on the need, right, regardless of location, +1 population, +1 income, +1 health, and the area effect is plus another health. So this is great. There are no downsides. We absolutely want this in the urban core of our city. Done. Cool. Well, they won't be able to do anything until these materials start flowing in. In fact, it's a bit of a waste to even bother building those buildings until then, but I'm not too worried about that. We will... ooh, and that's a good question. How are we on charcoal? Do we need to be making more charcoal? Starting to get to the point where I'm going to start using these filters, right? So you can do consumer goods. This is just what needs do your population have and are you meeting them, which is my usual gut check here. Construction materials, you know, great, but like, again, the answer is just make some of these. They're not continuously consumed. Raw materials, this is our basic productions here, right? This is wood that immediately gets turned into lumber, clay that immediately gets turned into tiles, etc. And it seems that once our remaining buildings that require charcoal are up and running, we will no longer be producing enough charcoal, which is what we're here to learn. So let's build another charcoal burner. Maybe here. As a reminder, these guys need to be out in the middle of nowhere because they cause all sorts of area effect troubles that we don't want, right? Minus health, minus fire safety. We did, speaking of fire safety, just get wells, right? So let's take a peek at this. Costs a little bit on the maintenance, but gives fire safety in a pretty small radius, but I suppose you can sneak these in a bunch of different places now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna put one here, and that'll cover a bunch up this way. Maybe sneak one in corner over here, and even down here, right? Feels like a good, quick and dirty coverage. Not everything's gonna have it, but that number is a lot smaller than it was. I wanted to say it was like 150-ish last I looked. Probably got worse even. That's a lot better. Cool. Good. Very good research to have. Is this boat out yet? Not quite. Getting there. But we can get back to our weapon production chain, a thing that we totally started and managed to get distracted on, shockingly. But so one iron mine can supply 2 furnaces. Let's go back into planning mode and just get them on the ground first. We'll come back to arranging them later. Let's just get the ratios sorted. And that can supply, I guess, 3 weaponsmiths, is that right? I don't know that we're going to build them all right away, but I think that is correct. But this does have an area effect. Trades fire for income. It's a small building too. I'm starting to think like this is the sort of building profile where there's a fire safety trade-off with an income increase. That income increase applies to all buildings, whether it's residential or industrial or commercial or whatever you want to call it. So I'm starting to think like maybe all of these area effects, I don't need to be thinking about optimizing for purely residential, right? Although they are always going to be the most efficient because they're the smallest buildings.
Construction of a ship has finished.
We could think about having a dedicated industrial area that does get a little bit of income, not quite as much, but is like, you know, doesn't subject our residential areas to as much fire safety concern. But let's just get these on the ground math-wise. And I don't think we're going to build all 3 right away. No need to. But that is the ratio. This mine can supply 2 furnaces and 3 weaponsmiths total. Did our boat get built? It did. Here it is. So what we need to do, and it's got its oars. Very cool. What we need to do is get it onto a trade route. So I guess that's what this button does. And we need to say, go over here to Apricus and pick up as much resin and olives as you can. And then come on back and unload those same goods. Now we could send something on the return trip, assuming we were able to fully unload. I don't think there's anything we really want to supply out there continuously. This could be, for example, a good way to supply the hats or tunics without having to build that locally, because we're making plenty of it here. But I don't think we're going to bother quite yet. So let's do that. Trade routes has a minor issue, and what is that issue? It says everything's in order, so I suppose I disagree. Okay. So hopefully that should allow all of our household goods productions that we've set up here to trickle in. I don't think we need to do anything else. It should just happen passively at this point, which should buy us some time to click on, what did it say? Latin technologies? Latin research. Establish a trade route in Latium and generate at least 500 knowledge. Yep, we do that. So what do we have here? Oh, cool. Okay, so we can sort of expand our harbor area, the actual placeable, building space, right? And you know, for right now, there's all this space out here in the harbor, but we can't make use of it unless we have it right here along the exact coast, right? So, okay, great. This functionally increases our coastal footprint, which seems like a good research. What else do we get here? Oh, wow. So the Governor Villa gives additional workforce. This can't be per building, right? If this is per building that's in its range, this is wildly overpowered, which means it's probably not correct. It's probably just a flat 25, but we should find out. Aqueduct boosts. Okay. And then mackerel hauling. Scomber's huts, which I don't think we've built yet, can produce even without a mackerel population with reduced productivity. Okay, interesting. So there's some good stuff in here. Oh, nice. Okay, and so then here, the resin tapper doesn't require trees, or rather it can plant its own trees. Also good and helpful. Cool. There's a ton of really good stuff in here. Very good. We will research it all over time, I am sure. All right. Are those goods trickling in? Not yet. There's no chance, right? It hasn't been anywhere near long enough to bring the ship back from our other island. Is it over there? Where is it? Yes, I'm looking at the mini-map. It's that island. So I don't see a ship yet. That's okay. So yeah, let's come back to finally maybe finish the weapon production. We might as well just make this all over here, right? Let's connect everything up, I suppose. And maybe move... Well, we're going to need a road to connect out all the way out here. Maybe to here. There's that. Remove this segment. Move this over. No, not so much. That's fine. We'll move these, though. Here, I suppose. Why not? Then these here. There we go. That feels a little bit more efficient. That should be everything we need for weapons. So let's build. This is so confusing to me. When I place something in planning mode, it won't allow me to construct it. Let's delete it, and then toggling planning mode, just build it. Totally fine, right? It's in mountain slots and river slots where I've noticed that. I don't know what's going on with that. Warehouse, at least one furnace and one weaponsmith. Again, this iron mine can supply all of this, but I don't know that we want to commit to building it all quite yet. Not really necessary. How much? Yeah, okay, so our markets definitely not reaching out here. Maybe they will when our research completes. That is the thing we are actively researching, if I remember correctly. Oh no, we have already? It seems we already have. Whoops. Yeah, we definitely have. So then let's grab... Do we want to do maybe one of those? Oh, interesting. Area of effect health building. And then this is, okay, so workforce reduction and upkeep cost on warehouses. I don't know how many warehouses we're really... I mean, we have a lot of warehouses, that's the thing, so it does add up. But what does it actually require? Okay, yeah. It's a minor bonus. I don't know if we're going to like prioritize that quite yet. I kind of want to do one of these Latin ones, right? I'm so overwhelmed in a good way on all of this research here. Let's see. I just want to see whether this actually grants 25 per building. There's no chance, right? Because this actually has, right, this has only 3 in this building. There's no way it's 25 per. That would be insane. But 25 is nice, I suppose. And it's free for forever. Okay. How is this going? We are starting to get good. Some iron out here. What else we might do? It's probably overkill. But given that these are all fire safety-ish. Fire safety, reduction area effects out here. We should go ahead and grab an extra fire department out this way, and we can kind of expand this into that same smaller industry cluster that I was riffing about earlier. I think that's going to be the way that we'll arrange things there. All right, this boat should get back out and explore a bit more, I suppose, right? Let us know when you're done. There's still one more AI governor that we haven't yet, Control D for diplomacy, that we haven't yet had a chance to meet. One more AI governor, and then I think a pirate, if that skull is to be...
You must be the governor.
Oh, and here we go. Lysiama. There we go.
My name is Lysiama.
Okay, so this is her. This is the third governor. As always, we will be polite at first.
What is yours?
And what does she have here? She's offering us a loan. She can give us 5K, I'm sorry, for 16%?
Imagine the possibilities.
I mean, I don't really want this. Our financial situation is fine. And it doesn't give us any, like, relationship benefit to accept this. 16% is just not an impressive...
Worth a try.
Not an impressive interest rate, so thanks for your offer, but no. Alright, and that was a good chunk, I think we just saw, of resin and olives being dropped off. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so that should hopefully start to get the olive press moving, as well as the... What's it called, the M4A producer? Jar maker, right? Potter. Yeah, that makes sense. It's out of clay. Oh, it's out of clay, which we should probably make more of, right? That's a good point. Yeah, and there it is. So we do need to add another clay producer. Just say out here, I suppose, right? Seems fine for now. Let's just run this over here. It can be a little inefficient. That should now be overkill, frankly. So, and then with everything ticking up, are we okay on charcoal? We are. Good. Very good. All right. So it's going to take a second to trickle in here, but we should hopefully start to see the household goods provided here to our plebes, which would be enough to upgrade to our next level of population, tier 3 population. I don't know what they're called. I guess we'll find out. They'll also have fancier houses, which is kind of cool. Like, this is our basic house, which is pretty. I like it. But then this for the plebes, definitely a bit fancier. Excited to see what tier 3 has to offer.
A small fire.
A fire has broken out.
Too small to be of concern.
Oh, well, if we don't have to be concerned, great, no problem. But where? Where is this fire? Ah, it's right down here where we were looking. So this is a good, you can see the response, right? So here's our little patrols. They are rushing on out there to pour water on everything. Good. And then is this one too far away to activate? No, it's coming down here. At least it'll help when, if and when it spreads up this way. This is too small to be concerned. I mean, it's a pretty decent fire. Fortunately, it happened literally directly around our fire station. So maybe, yeah, maybe we don't need to be concerned. Still though. So it says we should basically expect one every 2 hours of gameplay. Yeah, okay. It's helpful, because, like, what does minus 53 mean in a vacuum? It's just a floating statistic. It's helpful that they say, you know, so what, right? Same thing here, frequency for unrest, and for festivals. And then here, yeah, eventually, when we get large enough, we'll have to deal with disease as well. But it doesn't seem like we have to worry about that quite yet, which is good. Maybe we'll expand our basic population a little bit more too then. Can't hurt. We've got the timber, should be using it for something. about that? Right next to the active fires. Hopefully that's not a problem. That should help out here a bit too. And of course, anytime you do that, how are your consumer goods? We are still good on fish, still good on bread. Porridge could use a little bit more. Tunics in short supply. All right, so let's double our tunic production and our porridge production. Are you porridge? Right here? Yes. Yeah. Yes, we are the ones from the coins and the statues. Let's say here, I guess, and fill in the fields out this way. And we'll need a porridge maker as well. Here. No area effect on this one, that's right. So we can just sneak it in wherever, near a warehouse. Where's our other one? Do we have... Anyone else has a... Oh wait, that's right, we slapped it. It's right down here, yeah. Which, yeah, you know. That's fine, I suppose. Might get this a little out of the way over there. Maybe we can clean up these fields later. Let's see. Okay, so after the fire, we have to repair some damage, it seems. I think this is happening automatically. Yeah. I don't know if we can influence it to make it happen any faster, but I don't think we have to fully rebuild anything either, which is also good. Good. Oh, yep. So in building this here, I have actually disconnected it from the warehouse, even though it is literally touching it. It needs to be a road away. So let's actually put these here, I guess. There we go. Oh, he doesn't have all of his fields, does he? I think we must have copy-pasted this, and it obviously doesn't fit there, so let's go ahead and finish that. It's not the end of the world, but he's been operating at less than 100% efficiency in the meanwhile. And then how is the stockpile out here? Are we accumulating our produced goods? They are getting transported fast enough, so that's good. How about that ship? Is he full? Not quite. Good. So that's certainly enough throughput to transport everything. I don't know. We're starting to build up a little bit of a stockpile here, I suppose. We could do more on the olive side. We have the workforce out here, I suppose. So let's go ahead and build maybe a third olive grower. Why not? Ah, what the heck. Just build all of it. If it's already out here, you know, we've got the workforce. Maybe another resin trapper. Actually, this one over here, right? We did, yep, place. I think that's a good spot for it. Build it, connect it, of course. Oh, and now it's mad. Let's try that. You then connect it via road. You take away some of its trees, I suppose. But let's get another one, because why not? And I guess we'll have to run it a very long way, all the way down this road, but that's okay. And then we need to upgrade real quick. Tell me this is enough.
There's a market for everything if you're desperate enough.
Well, I'm not sure. That's alright though. Oh, would he do more good here? I guess so, actually. Minor tweak in efficiency. Are we gonna tick up here? I guess not, because yeah, we don't have plebeian needs being addressed here, so they are as full as they're gonna be. So let's just go ahead and we'll drop one more of these, and in a moment we'll be able to upgrade there as well. Unfulfilled needs. Yes, we know. We're very intentionally not going to bother supplying additional needs here. It's more complexity than value that we get back from it. So that's okay. Would be good to get one more of these upgraded so I don't get this little notification, but we'll come back to it. I'm sure I won't forget about it for hours. Speaking of which, how's our boat? Probably some more exploration to be done. Go out and around that way. Try to remind me. We'll see if it sticks. And then over here, please tell me.
Before we judge, walk a mile in
Still not.
someone
We don't have
else's
it paused, do
sandals.
we?
Our scouts have
Maybe we
sighted
did.
new
Yep.
land.
Okay. We think we had it toggled to not allow the consumption there. Not sure why. But now it should trickle in. Actually, it should flow in. I think we have a decent amount
Our scouts have
of...
sighted new
maybe
land.
not. We have some. And some new islands being discovered. We'll take a peek in a moment, but I do want to make sure that we are able to upgrade here right away because I am a little concerned that we don't have enough to sustain everyone continuously. Let's look at that consumption here. Okay, so it should be enough. As long as we can keep our buildings supplied continuously, we're definitely able to keep the goods flowing out to our citizens quickly enough. But we got a nice upgraded major imperial city. We got to make sure that those goods flow.
Delightful.
Cool. She likes that our people are happy. And
Governor,
here it is.
Diana Augusta. Mother reckons keeping the codices does me good, but I'm literally dying to get back to Rome.
Oh, we'll have to chat with Diana in a moment. But we have our first Equites. Equites. Cool. I do like their building. It's pretty nice. Okay. I think... Oh, he likes health. Very good. Oh, we can travel to
You
different
can now travel
provinces.
between
Okay.
different
Very good.
provinces
Let's
and
take a peek at
at
that.
great speed.
That should be Albion, I think.
We are privileged to serve.
Thank you, sir. We're privileged to have you. So they have new food requirements, either cheese or
Our
wine.
scouts have sighted
Sure.
new land.
Over here, aqueduct cisterns or theaters. Okay. Cool. The aqueduct, it seems, covers health and fire safety as well, which is nice. Household goods, we have not yet unlocked, but we can do togas or
Our
brooches.
scouts have
Nice.
sighted new land.
And over here, writing tablets and fine glass, and a new category, marvels, which looks like a public services thing where we need either baths or a forum. Cool. A request from the Emperor. Decreed an expansion of the Imperial fleet to guard the frontiers, vanquishing the rising threats to the Empire. We are expected to supply, substantial materials. That's kind of a lot of sales, but we could probably try to do this. It's worse if we try and fail, right? Let's give it a shot. I'm going to pause so that we can do all this other stuff first. So, okay, here it is. Albion province awaits. This is the other location. So we are congratulated and granted the rights to settle territory in Albion. At the very limit of the Empire, will you choose to impose the Roman temple by force or soften to local ways? Choose wisely. Chiefess Foada and her Scathach tribe set fire to the last governor's villa. All right. We can now enter and settle islands in the province of Albion. Cool.
You do have convictions of your own.
So, I would say we should send our flagship there, right? Sort of stop with our local exploration, unfortunately, but let's do it, right? Can we just say, can you go to Albion? How do we do that? Maybe we click here. Okay, great. So then Albion it is. Cool.
You Romans probably think this place is weird. All of that. But then if the Celts saw Latium, they'd probably feel the same. It's our home. It's ancient. Naturally, a Roman sees it running wild and wants to bring it to order, to heal. Expect a bit of resistance there, mind. It's two different worlds, sort of bound by fate, but divided in belief. Anyway, Albion knows how all that's meant to meet.
Fabius Gemellus Corvinus.
How cool is that?
You must be the newest governor. Mars knows we need help.
All right. So yeah, Albion seems like a very clearly Celtic outpost. Do we have some white cliffs here potentially? Certainly quite a bit of rain. Yeah, neat. All right, so this is, I guess, our starting location out here. Oh, cool. We even get a new boat in this area that we get to explore separately. So eventually we'll be able to send boats in between the two. It takes a while to travel, but we'll be able to ship back some goods from this area back to Latium and vice versa if and when we want to. So yeah, now this one needs to explore. Let's do that. I think that's the answer here. They just want us to explore, right? Yeah. And we need to get that going too, but let's at least just send him out and about for a bit. And let me know. But we need to get back to Latium. There's a hotkey to do this, and I need to remember it. Let's see. There it is. All right, so keypad 1 and 2. So 1, bam, here we go. Real quick load. Okay. Could be worse. And then here we are. We're back home in Latium. All right, so we need to send a bunch of wood and sails to any emperor representative. And in fact, since we don't have to send our flagship to go explore over there in Albion, we are going to actually keep it over here instead. And maybe we should get ourselves another boat. Well, no, let's wait because we need to send a bunch of sails. And that's the one thing I don't think we have a ton of here. That would be a construction material. It is 41. So, okay, that's no problem. We are going to get there in relatively short order even. But let's get our flagship loaded up with what we have already. And then which emperor representatives should we try to ship this to? I suppose Valeria would count, right? She seems like an emperor representative. So that's probably what we'll do. She seems closest. Over here, this is Diana, another outpost, right? She, by the way, would pay a lot for hand mirrors and bird tongues in aspic. Interesting. But sells other items. And yeah. Nothing incredible that we can actually afford, frankly. So no worries, but we'll come through and make good use of that eventually when we have more cash, I suppose. Could also try to buy a ship here, but we can make our own ships. I think that's all right. Cool.
The best ship ever built.
All right, where are you at? Where's our boat? On his way. Very good. Should we try to improve our sail production? Did we need to add more sheep? Did we actually max out our sheep production here? Agricultural goods. Okay, so we actually could add, I think maybe even one more. Yeah, so let's do that. Which is going to require me to move these, of course, naturally. It's not the grid selection I was hoping for. That's a little awkward to try to do that, but okay, no worries. Let's just get these up here. They just need to be near a warehouse, I suppose. This, however, makes sense to have here with the rest of them. Cool. Alright, well this is driving me a little bit nuts aesthetically, so pardon me, but I am going to make a minor adjustment here. It's 3 buildings of the same type, all in a row, so why do I not have them all in a row? There we are. Very important stuff, right? Good. Alright, so we can load up 55 wood. No problem. And we have at least a chunk of those sales already. Great. But we should be able to fit all of it, actually, because a stack is 50, which means we'll have another 18 here. We'll do it all in one trip, save ourselves a little bit of legwork. But once we have enough there, we'll send them across and grab some Emperor reputation. Maybe let's go back to Albion while we let that run. Confident that we are not wasting time on the clock with the Emperor. Over here, where are we going? Oh, that's the edge of the map. Whoops. Okay, that was maybe not the best direction to send him off exploring in. A bit of a waste. No worries. Come on out this way. Then over there, and then over there, I suppose. So this is the Emperor's outpost. This is not ours, right? Yeah, so this is a place we can trade, can buy soap, and some building materials. Ah, but he wants trousers, and sausages, and anything. Any good items? Productivity for rope makers. Yeah, 10%, not a ton. 100k, but tons of prestige from hand mirrors. Yeah, well, that may eventually be a very powerful thing, but we are so far away from being able to make use of it, let alone afford it. Okay. No problem there.
Men share quarters with their contubernium. 8 each. You do what it takes to preserve the peace.
So this is our little barracks outpost. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Ah, so they knocked over a hill fort and then built a clifftop outpost out of it. Nice. Right. Well, we'll let him explore for a bit more here, and we'll see what we learn. And then back to Latium for now. Maybe we take a peek at some of these tier 3 supply chains. And or try upgrading Nor a little bit more. Yeah, let's do a whole block here, and then I heard a new island has been discovered. Oh, okay. Back to Albion. Yeah, it looked like in that opening cinematic, it's kind of boggy. What is this? Marsh slot. So, like river slots or mountain slots, in Albion we have marshes. I assume just Albion. Cool. And you can build a drainage pump to drain it. Can you do anything with it other than drain it? Or is this just you have to reclaim the land first? I don't know. What are our fertilities here? Barley, resin, small birds, flax, silver, and granite. Cool. I have no idea which of these matter. Do we settle an island real quick, or do we explore a little bit more? I think we explore a little bit more, just to be sure. We have no idea what we're looking at here, so I don't know if that's a good one, a terrible one, or anything in between. Do we have? Not quite, but while we're thinking about it, we'll load up some of them. We still need, what, 16 more? Yeah. There's no way to crank productivity, is there? It's not like an overtime button here. Maybe we unlock something later? We'll see. What other notifications? Command completed. Back to Albion. Whoopsie.
You're welcome to drop in at the hill fort.
We have met Manx.
Their chief.
He is the chief here. Not on this map, at least. Here. Is this where Manx is?
If it's metal
Got it.
or
Okay, so he's a
horses
trader as well.
might
He's not
actually
an AI
need some
governor.
help.
But he requests barley and reed shoes and has a few items. Cool. Okay. Where's our boat? Up this way. Keep exploring, friend. Back to Lachim. Tier 3 productions. That's what we were talking about. Potentially. These little blocks work well together, which is cool. Okay, so what do we need to provide? So what does wine and cheese look like? Let's unlock this here. So wine... wine makes you stupid, but a little bit more religious, apparently. We get income and happiness for it. Cheese is very prestigious, of course, naturally. We all understand that. Plus some population and income. Okay. Seems like we'll probably try to provide both of those.
Our scouts have sighted new land.
We'll follow up in a moment. I don't want to get distracted here. There is the aqueduct, though. So we need more equites, before we can upgrade this. But this system looks kind of cool. I'm excited. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe we can get there real quick. Think that'll do it? We'll find out. It does.
Could provide
So an
water,
aqueduct source
and
goes in a
stupendous
mountain slot. Interesting. Okay, so this actually... So this competes. Cool. Okay, so this competes with, like, mining. Ooh, and maybe this would be a better spot to place this if we need it to be near the city, because I assume... Yeah, we have to connect it here. And then a cistern is the end... Yeah, the end building for distribution. Cool. Very cool. But it looks like, yeah, we have to get this concrete supply chain up and running before we can build any of that, because they all require concrete. What does concrete look
Our
like?
scouts have sighted new
Limestone
land.
and sand. Okay. We'll do that in a moment, I'm sure. But let's see, what else do we have here to upgrade? Okay, the aqueduct, which we've already seen now, gives health and fire safety. Makes sense. It's running water. And the theater, which gives us happiness, prestige, and knowledge. Okay. And then what else? They have other needs as well, right? So that's the public services one. And then here they must have... Okay, so yeah, we don't have enough to upgrade or to unlock these here, but there are eventually, as we mentioned, yeah, other goods further down the supply chain.
Our scouts have sighted new land.
All right, let's take a look at the new islands.
Our scouts have sighted new land.
Yeah, there's a lot of new land to be decided out this way. This is a much larger island. Good. This feels like something we should try to prioritize settling on. My goodness, though. It's really big. I feel like the scale of islands is a little bit larger in 117. I'm not sure if that's true, but it feels that way. And then what's this other one over here? Yeah, similarly pretty large, pretty boggy. But I don't know what fertilities matter yet, you know? So we'll find out. But I don't know, we found this one first. So I think we'll try to come settle this one. And if the edge of the map is facing that way, I'm thinking about what's the fastest way to get our trade routes home. Does this island have a beach on that side? It does not. But the closest one would be maybe this one over here then? No, that's coming all the way around. Might be the other side. Oof, nope, that's not a beach either. All right. So it's this bay. Okay, great. So come on over here. Let me know when you get there. And yeah, we'll settle an island in Albion. Cool. Back in Latium, though. Do we have all of the sails we need? Please. Oh my gosh. So close. Not quite. We need 68, right? That's 64. Yeah, okay. There in a moment, though. No problem. Checking our productions. Ooh. We are short on wheat. Is that right? Odd. Yeah, it seems that way. Is something going on with our wheat farm, or did I just need to build another one? Oh no, that's right. It's because our mill can handle twice that much, but as long as we're good on bread, we're fine there. Yep, and we are, of course. All right, great. Everything else looks good, though. We did do porridge, so that got better. Tunics is getting close again, but we're okay for now. Good. Okay. Anything else we can unlock here? Oh, wait. I guess we could go to Albion. What do we get here? This looks like Epona. Oh, wow. Who knew the Celts were so into Legend of Zelda? Let's see. But we have a material pack. Extra resources for starting out in your province. Sure. Take that. What's this? A specialist? Religion specialist, belief area, knowledge area effect, upkeep cost. Yep, sure. If we can do that at home, we're going to do that, actually. Grants marsh services. Allows the placement of city-wide building types within the marshlands. I don't know how much that's going to be impactful quite yet, so maybe I'll just sort of ignore that for now. And we can't do anything here until we hit 100. Okay. Well, that's cool, though. Moss-covered buildings. Very cute. All right. Anything left over in Latium, though, that we would be interested in snagging here? Anything functional is where priority is going to go. I don't think so. Not quite yet. Okay. Great. Let's see this concrete production. So concrete, let's go back into planning mode for a second just to drop it down. So a concrete mixer is here every minute 30. So we'll need a sand refinery can do 2 of these, and a limestone quarry can do 3 of these. So just one of these each seems fine. This is okay, it's a harbor building. So I guess we'll just put it here. I think we can build it right away. And then a limestone quarry, presumably, yes, does take a mountain slot. And we are nowhere near any good mountain slots at this point. So maybe we come over here? What if we can build a bridge that way? I'm assuming that we can't just go straight over. And of course, naturally, we cannot. What would we have to do to get over there? It's like this? Yeah, seems like it. Okay, no problem. We can do that. A little expensive, but not terrible. Less prohibitively expensive than bridges used to be in 1800. At least by my memory. We're playing on easy difficulty again or something. Sure, that looks like a fun little country road. To connect up out here, where we will then drop a warehouse. I guess here, right? And connect up to these 2 mountain slots. So what I'm actually going to do, limestone, as we know we need, I'm going to do an iron mine, which might seem counterintuitive, but what I would like to do actually is to free this up to be our aqueduct source. I feel like that probably makes more sense here. So we'll even demolish this. And we can't build it yet, right? Because we need to get the concrete going. But that is going to be the play, I think. Because the others, right? Just put a warehouse next to it. Doesn't matter. Here, we would have to run an aqueduct this length, which, by the way, costs a ton up front, but also maintenance. Like, we want this to actually be sourced nearby as much as we can handle, or as much as we can make that happen. So let's set that up. Oops. Come on now. Nice little hang on a save. But there, I think, finally, Thank you. Finally, we have the sails that we need. So we need 4 more of these, not all of them. There we go. Okay. 55 wood, 68 sails. Great. Now, please go to... Who did we say was closest? Is that... That's her. What's her name? I'm still learning the names. Valeria. That's right. Valeria. Okay, cool. So, in a moment, we'll be able to deliver that and get ourselves a nice little reputation boost with the Emperor. A little low on plebes here. Probably need to upgrade another block or so. This row, maybe? Up here? Oh, well, doing them all, I guess. Fat-fingered that, but we'll just run with it. And I suppose the best way to offset that would be just slap down more, right? Great. Can you guys get out of there? These are our offensive archers. We'll bring them down here. So, of course, we just spent all of our sails, but it'd be nice to get a another boat out here. Not for a trade route so much as for, I don't know, I kind of want to maybe try raiding someone? I don't know. We're going to have to play around with that, but it could be kind of fun. Oh, no warehouse in range. Yes, it is. It's right there. It's literally touching, but you need a square of road to feel happy about that. No problem. Very good. I feel like a festival can be hosted. Brilliant. Random specialist or captain. And income for bakeries. I'd rather pay the porridge cost. What do we have here? We have a new specialist. And let's see what her deal is. Oh, and he's got a treaty for us. Pause. Too many things going on. Oh, that's right. Okay, so this guy we should add because that's going to help our knowledge and belief. So keep an eye up here, I suppose.
Rejoice, Governor.
Nice. And then this is the one we just got. That was the one we unlocked from the meta progression. And then Agrippa Pontificus belief as well in this area. So hopefully that is cranking up our belief rating. And we can build some officia. We'll get to it eventually, I'm sure. Okay. So there's that. Tutorial on aqueducts. Here we go. Okay, so we know this. I think we figured this out. We need to source the aqueduct in a mountain slot, the aqueduct itself, and then also a cistern that will distribute the water in its vicinity. Great. Can only be distributed downhill. Okay. Oh, I did not consider that without here. We should double check that. Choose it high enough to transport the water to the lower part of the island. Water's a limited resource. All buildings around a cistern benefiting from the aqueduct will consume water. Okay. Check the aqueduct menu to see where you can manage water consumption. Cool. Seems like a whole thing. Is this downhill? It feels downhill. I think that's downhill. I hope it's downhill enough. That is what I don't have any way of knowing, but probably, right? We'll find out. We are getting our limestone up here, though. Good. All right, so that concrete should start to trickle in. But what do we want to do? We wanted to check out that island we were going to settle out in Albion. I'm sure I got a notification, but didn't click on it. So, oh, sweet. And this one's actually free. Let's, I would say, move it over slightly. And drop it. Here we are. Moringar. We're here. We have settled our first island in Albion. Very cool. Oh, and he offers a non-aggression pact. Sure.
Absolutely, yes.
And a trade treaty offer. Allows mutual trade at each other's trade posts. Great. Other governors' ships will automatically visit your island and buy and sell goods you have set up for trade at your trading posts. Sounds good. We're going to have to calibrate that in a moment, but let's come back to it. An An island we control has no patron god. Well, yeah, we just controlled this island. I mean, come on now, give us a break. It's been 10 seconds. But yes, we absolutely should produce or pick a god. So here's the question: do we go further into the series tree? Let's take a look at our global devotion. So that's ticking up. The game is paused. It might not be paused. The game is now paused. But I think this was around 500 on our island, so it might just be catching up. So we could get this shrine. Okay. Or we could diversify our belief. I think we go a little bit further in this direction. Additional population is good for workforce. I don't know that we get any of these, but I also don't know that we get any of these in Albion. There's probably a right answer here, but I also don't think it matters too much. And I would just like to explore the series tree a little bit further, so let's do that. Cool. All right, so we have a patron god here. So that's sorted. Settlement request.
Will you do the sensible
She wants to
thing?
claim an island. Oh, interesting. So we can say, yeah, that's yours, no problem. Or we can say, no, but they'll be mad. Which island? It's out here? In Albion. Interesting. I mean, they like us. Or we could just say no. I mean, yeah, we'll just... No, you can't. You're gonna get over it, but... I don't know why they would listen to us. That's what's interesting to me. We'll take it, though. Okay, and here we are in Albion. Very cool. So, I think what we're going to do... Can we get back over and deliver this quest, just to wrap it up real quick? Where is our... We're here. All right, great. So... Hello... representative. Let's see how this works. Oh no, they want it over here to Diana. Dang it, if only I had clicked. Alright. Right, unless, let's just check real quick while we're here. That's not gonna allow us to turn it in, is it? No, it is not. Okay. So then, come on out here. No worries. It's only all the way across the map, so not a problem. Alright, we've sorted that out. New island milestone reached. Ah, great. Okay, so yeah, we do have an upgrade, at least at home. Oh, did we not? I guess we didn't actually set it. Interesting. Do we have to have devotion in order to set it? No, I don't know why it didn't stick. Maybe I didn't click it correctly. Whoopsie. But here we go. This is cool. We have increased productivity for these two supply chains, which we are absolutely doing. And in fact, the second half, at least, the entire production chain. So we don't grow the olives on our home island, but we do produce the olive oil, so that's 30% more productive. Same thing will be true when we do wine. These two entire supply chains are getting 30% on our home island. Cool. Yeah, it's definitely just not sticking, is it? If he keeps giving me that. Same thing. Why would I allow this, you know? No. Be mad.
Natural diplomats, so it seems.
Alright. Let's head back real quick here to Latium. I do want to get this quest dropped off. And if you're just going to keep spamming me with that, I'm going to ignore it. So, can we hand in this quest? Yes, please. There we go. Okay.
Not all want a knife in me back then.
Brilliant. Now we have a pretty good reputation with him. I don't know when that will come in handy, but...
It's my favorite governor.
Ah, good. This is nice. Good to see. All right. So if it goes in the negative, we'll be considered a rebel and may attack us. We don't want that. if it goes all the way
I
up.
once met with a desert, a
Cool.
bleeding eye. Weeks we marched to the same.
Interesting. Okay, so we can get a defensive alliance. We can get reduced reputation costs for war declarations.
You crossed the town
Wow.
basin.
A lot of reduction in island settlement costs and a bunch of rerolls and better prices. All right, cool. So that's good. This seems like a good thing to have good reputation with the Emperor. Cool. All right. I think what we're going to do, though, is call it here for an episode. I think it's been pretty good. We managed to upgrade to tier 3, which is nice. This is like, tier 3 is the biggest jump, I think. Well, certainly so far in this game, but was generally in the previous titles I've played as well. We did unlock, obviously, Albion, and we've even grabbed an island. Now, we haven't built there at all, but we'll do that, I think, to kick off the next episode, which should be fun. I'm excited to learn what the heck we actually get to do in Albion and what choices are there to be made. It sounded like you can kind of go hard in like enforcing Roman rule, or maybe have a bit more of an open humanistic way of blending. And it seems like, based on that and the sort of the hints in the tech tree that we've seen, that we might have two meaningfully different paths in front of us and a choice to make, which is cool. That's what we love. We love when games give us difficult choices. Very good problem to have. Cool. But yeah, I mean, I think good progress. A lot of fun still I'm having, at least. I hope you are as well. And if you are, make sure to come back again for the next one and see how our island continues to grow, how our empire expands. We're on 3 different islands now, 2 in Latium and 1 in Albion. I'm sure that that number will only continue to increase. But until the next one, have a great rest of your day, and bye-bye.